Previously on The Way We Did It, we took our new Lance truck camper to Rocky Mountain National Park for its first camping trip. It went so well that we decided to take it out to Yellowstone, where we explored the road less traveled and had maybe a little too close of an encounter with the locals. Yellowstone is one of the most visited national parks in the country, and the campgrounds book up months in advance. So you can imagine how excited we were to score a last-minute campsite at the Yellowstone Westgate KOA. But first, some housekeeping. If you recall from our last video, we had a bit of an issue with the sewer hose. Dave had to cut off several inches just to get it to fit inside the small compartment. And because the sewer output is located on the opposite side of the hookups, it didn't reach. So Dave had to turn the truck around just so we could empty the tanks. This is obviously extremely impractical, so we purchased a longer, better quality sewer hose and a hose carrier to store it in. Dave simply used a clamp and zip ties to secure it to the rear of the camper. We didn't think we'd be this excited about a sewer hose, but we couldn't wait to test it out in Yellowstone. While the drive through eastern Wyoming isn't the most riveting, there's something special about driving through endless prairie and big open skies with not a single man-made structure in sight. There is a break in the landscape when the road travels through the Wind River Canyon. Its walls rise over 2,500 feet and are some of the oldest rock formations in the world, dating back to nearly 3 billion years. And anyone that drives or tows a camper knows that going through a tunnel can be a bit nerve-wracking. Well, imagine going through not one, not two, but 3 compact tunnels that look like they were literally just blasted through the mountain that morning. We did make a few stops to stretch and soak our legs. One was in the town of Thermopolis, where we took a quick dip in their natural mineral hot springs. We also stopped in the Wild West town of Cody, where authentic cowboys roam the streets. Beyond this, we'd be entering Yellowstone's wilderness, so we found a nearby park and used the last bit of cell phone service to tie up a few loose ends at work. Then, after hours on the road, we arrived to Yellowstone. We've never entered through the east side of the park before, so this was all new to us. But soon, the landscape became familiar. And we got an iconic Yellowstone welcome. Little did we know what was in store for us in Hayden Valley. A massive herd of buffalo had gathered right by the road, backing up traffic as far as the eye can see. And right when we started to move, this happened.
Every time she starts to move, it blocks her.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck. This male is preventing this female from going to the male that's back there. And they won't get out of the road. So apparently, it was the bison rut. And we arrived right as a challenging male from another herd was trying to prevent one of his females from leaving. We were stuck for close to half an hour. We couldn't even inch our way through because this guy decided to stand right up against our truck. And just for scale, our hood sits about 5 feet tall, and it only comes up to his shoulders. One of us kind of started to panic.
Can you get out of the way, please? And you shut up.
Window. I am serious. I am starting to freak out a little bit.
No, you should. Why?
Because they're right up against our car. I just want to get back to camp. But the bison did eventually let us pass, and we continued west towards the campground. Thoughts on what just happened, Dave?
Awesome.
It was both amazing and terrifying at the same time, I think.
I think you about pooped your pants.
I did. I started to freak out at the end. The scenic drive definitely helped calm my nerves. There's just something about Yellowstone that makes you feel like you're truly out west. Now let's check out the campground. We were staying at the Yellowstone Westgate KOA. It's located just 6 miles from the park, so it was a great base camp. It's heavily wooded with large pine trees, so our site felt pretty private. The one hang-up is that you park right in the grass, which meant it was a bit uneven, as indicated by our stack of Legos. And for those of you following our sewer hose saga, the new one worked perfectly. I just forgot to document it. Here's a sneak peek of a future video that shows our new setup. The hose now reaches the hookups and screws into the cap for a secure connection. Knowing we wanted to get an early start the next day, we settled in for the night. Every morning, the campground serves up a big pancake breakfast, and there was no way we were going to turn that down. Our plan for the day was to explore the west side of the park, where most of the geothermal activity is located. In past trips to Yellowstone, we mainly visited the major geyser basins, so this time around, we wanted to see some of the lesser-known areas. Just outside of Madison, we veered off the main road onto Firehole Canyon Drive. It's a one-way route that follows the Firehole River through the forest. Growing up, Dave and his family always visited this area to go swimming. The river is actually heated by geothermal runoff from nearby geyser basins. We then took another detour off the main road onto Firehole Lake Drive. This led to an incredible area full of large thermal pools. We couldn't believe we've never driven this road before, and how we pretty much had the entire area to ourselves. We also couldn't resist stopping at some of the larger geyser basins. It's just such a bizarre, beautiful, and otherworldly environment. And like it does with the millions of people that visit, it pulled us in. We then had a rather unexpected experience. As we were walking along the upper geyser basin, we suddenly heard a crowd of people shouting in the distance. We ran over to see what was going on and found a rare geyser erupting. It was the fan and mortar geysers, which apparently are dormant for months at a time. A ranger even commented that this was pretty special to see. We thought the perfect ending to the day would be to visit the Grand Prismatic Pool. And we knew of a secret spot overlooking the entire basin that we had discovered 13 years ago. But our secret spot wasn't so secret anymore. The park had made it into an actual trail linked to a huge parking lot, and had carved out a railed overlook at the top. While we were a little disappointed that our secret got out, we were happy that more people were now able to enjoy this view. And it did make the scramble to the hilltop a lot easier. The next day, we left the main attractions behind and set out to explore the less visited parts of Yellowstone. The plan was to drive to Lamar Valley, tucked away in the northeast corner of the park. Its vast, grassy landscape is centered around the Lamar River and is known to be a mecca for wildlife. Just beware that you'll go over a very tall bridge, which isn't ideal if the driver has a fear of heights. We switched drivers at the Roosevelt Lodge and felt transported back in time to the old Wild West with its rustic architecture and a literal freaking stagecoach that looked like a scene straight out of a movie. Lamar Valley was unbelievably beautiful. The expansive rolling hills completely surround you, and the winding river stretches right through the heart of it. This sign wasn't joking. We saw more bison than we could count. We were also lucky enough to see a herd of pronghorn grazing near the road. We have seen them countless times in the open prairies of Colorado and Wyoming, but never this close before. We pulled over near a rough trail that led right to the river. These are the moments we love. Taking the road less traveled and feeling like we have the entire national park to ourselves. As we were making our way back to the campground, we got pretty hungry by the time we reached Mammoth Springs. Yet another perk to our truck camper. We can just pull over, turn on the propane, and cook dinner, with a view that's hard to beat. And since we were already there, we took an after-dinner walk at the hot springs. Wanting to use up every ounce of sunlight left in the day, we made another stop at a trail I spotted off the road. It led to a quintessential national park scene, a tranquil creek meandering through a meadow in the middle of the forest. Though we didn't stay for too long because one of us was a little nervous about bears.
That's really pretty. But next time we need to carry bear mace with us.
In Dave's defense, there were a lot of signs warning about bear activity in the area. Not quite ready to call it a night, we hiked out to the banks of the Madison River to watch the sunset. While also taking note, or if you're Dave, trying to catch whatever was flying around that the fish were eating, in case later on we decided to go fishing. It was our last day in Yellowstone. The plan was to drive the southern portion of the Grand Loop before heading back towards Colorado. We stopped at one of my favorite places, the West Thumb Geyser Basin. A long boardwalk takes you beside these immensely deep thermal pools, with shades of blue like you've never seen before. And it all overlooks Yellowstone Lake, with several geysers located in the lake itself. As the road continued to follow the perimeter of the water, the landscape had a similar feeling to the Pacific Northwest. The air was cooler, it was very windy, and the gravel beaches were sprinkled with large boulders and driftwood. Which is just so bizarre because it's the complete opposite of what we've seen all weekend. We found an empty beach to park on and thought it was the perfect place to have lunch. I mean, what's not to love about having the door open and just listening to the waves crashing on the beach? Trying to find any excuse to stay one more minute in Yellowstone, we took a winding road up a small cliff to the Lake Butte overlook for one last expansive view. Officially out of scenic overlooks, it was time to leave Yellowstone for now and start the journey back home. Next time on The Way We Did It, we take the Lance out to southern Colorado, where we explore the Great Sand Dunes National Park and the Rio Grande River. We also have a little surprise in store when we deviated from the plan and tacked on a spontaneous detour. If you'd like to join us on more adventures, be sure to like this video and click that subscribe button. Or consider joining our Patreon community so we can continue to show you the way we did it.